Hey guys, it is TexAgs Rewind. David Nuno and a very colorful Gabe Bach.
Sup?
Is that how you cheerlead? Like, if you were to be a yell leader, what would be you like? Show me some moves.
Oh, you want to show me?
Okay, this is not going to go well.
A-J-J-I-A-S.
Okay,
Is that right?
let's.
Now, if I were in the middle of like Fort Worth, Sundance Square or something, I had this shirt on. I mean, why not just go for it?
Just go for it, buddy. Richard Simmons, Gabe Bach, all having a good old time here on TexAgs Rewind. On the show, Obi and I talked about what we were surprised so far about. Gabe gave us his thoughts. Give us a 5-second version of what you were surprised by.
I knew it would struggle without Kellen Mond, and then the 4 offensive line. But I'm surprised the offense, even with the injuries, is this bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's it.
It's bad.
We get into it.
You'll want to listen to that. Chris Landry on the running game, almost a full yard less yards before contact than last year. I thought that was an amazing stat out there. And Brauninger on the recruits reacting to how the weekend went and the future. It is TexAgs Rewind. OB, what has surprised you most this
let me
first 4
say
games?
this. When I hear surprise, to me, surprise has a positive connotation to it.
Okay. What has frightened you?
So to me, and I don't mean to sound like a lawyer, to me, surprise, good, disappoint, bad. So to me, the greatest surprise, I think, is actually the emergence of Tyreek Chappell,
Okay.
who I think is playing a pretty good corner when he's in there. I think he got called on a bogus pass interference call last week where I thought he just had good coverage. And really, I think A&M got better in pass coverage when he came in. I think he's been a very pleasant surprise.
I think he's been a great surprise. So, and surprised, I understand what you mean. Positive connotation. Let me ask you, how would
The
you
negative.
phrase it? But there is I want today to be positive, but mine is not positive. But let me ask you this. Would you say that Arkansas caught A&M by surprise on that 85-yard touchdown? Or how would you phrase that? And I'm meaning that because I know you know words. How would you phrase that? Off guard.
Yeah, definitely off guard.
Off guard.
But, give credit where credit is due. Because if you watch that, I know you did, they came out and they ran the play to get the one-on-one. I mean, they know, all right, A&M's got this corner out. They obviously identified it, and he's been out, and he's had foot issues.
Let's test him.
Let's get it 1-on-1. And remember, they got a false start on that play. They moved
Right
it
before,
from
yeah.
on that. So they moved it from that's the play they were running because they never went into the huddle.
They just went right there.
They just moved it back and immediately went right into calling because they had what they wanted, and they were let's go for it because we believe our guy is better than their guy, especially when their guy hadn't been playing. And what do you know? They get an 85-yard touchdown. So, yes, A&M was definitely caught off guard.
They are near the bottom of the SEC in yards before contact. It's less than overall. It's a little less than it's about 1.9 yards. So basically, there's not a lot of run creases. So the holes close up quickly. Now, there's certainly things you can do schematically to create some spacing, but a part of that is you got to work the quick passing game. You got to get people out of the box, and that's what they're not been able to do very effectively. And, that's a problem. So, yeah, look, the great backs can make an offensive line look better, and great offensive lines can make a back look better. I would say that the backs are a little bit more talented and have done a little bit better job than the offensive line has in creating run creases. So, it's a big issue. I mean, last year, by comparison, they were almost in the 2.8 to 2.9 yards before contact mode. Now, I mean, you're talking about almost a yard different. That's huge in terms of, look, you got to make people miss. We always break down backs, avoidance yards, and after contact yards. What do they do with what they have? So you've got to make something happen as a back. But on the offensive line, you've got to give some run creases. So I think it's both. I think it's more slanted towards the problems with the offensive line. Now, again, If you're not able to get open, go back to the quarterback play because it's all connects. All right. So what are you going to do? You're going to crowd the line of scrimmage. You're going to cheat a guy in the box. So now you've got an offensive line that's struggling, having to block more numbers in the box. You see where this goes? Okay, so you've got less, spacing to be able to run. And so a lot of times what you have to do is you have to throw people out of that look so that you can run the football. And so I think, while it's easy to say to do that and to call those, it's easy to call plays. Call plays are easy. Play calls are the most overrated thing that people criticize. It's how you execute the play that you call and how you set up future plays that you call. And so I think what's going to be interesting is how can they develop a comfort level with getting the ball out quickly, create some run creases. And I think that's going to be the effort going forward. But
recruits, I think, judge the season by its entirety more than fans do. They're not as emotionally attached to the day-to-day, week-to-week as the fans are, at least not yet. Once they get on campus, obviously, they are. But right now, nothing has changed in terms of what A&M is going to offer these guys that are committed or their top prospects. Like, nothing has changed. And if A&M loses 3 or 4 games, that's still not going to change kind of like the sales pitch. Like, okay, this is what happened. Here's why this happened. And I think most everybody would point to, if A&M struggles, losing your starting quarterback's a big deal. I mean, didn't that happen with Georgia 2 years ago? And they fumbled down the stretch and they couldn't. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Anyway, but there's a reason why your starters is your starter. And A&M's going to have to overcome some early season adversity. But it doesn't change the sales pitch. And it may strengthen some sales pitches. Like, hey, man, we really need you here. There's opportunity for you to get on the field early on. And tell you what, Connor Wigman's not going to come in here to sit.
Right now. And that brings us to down 2.
Down 2.
I mean, my take on the topic is what are you surprised? I'm surprised the offense is this bad.
Yeah.
I really am. How often were you talking all August about the things you were seeing against A&M's defense in the little points of time we got to go to practice with the receiving corps? I thought you were really high on the receiving corps going into this year. And frankly, I was too. Now, that's assuming a few things. Can Chase Lane take the next step? Can Caleb Chapman stay healthy? He clearly can't. Baylor Cupp's having an issue staying healthy. Luke Matthews clearly can't. So a lot of the guys, you can't make the club in the tub. That is a quote and a direct statement from Stephen McGee. You got to get out there and get healthy and stay healthy.
I love that, by the way. You can't make the club in the tub.
You really can't, can you?
Got to make a shirt.
Who gets on the field when they're sitting in the hot tub? I mean, it's just impossible. So you got to get out there and get healthy and stay healthy. And those guys who've had a history of being unable to do that are still showing those exact things, and that's really hurting this team. Now, honestly, the question, and I'll ask you right now, is it a scheme problem or a personnel problem? What do you think? If you had to kind of cut the pie and give a majority on one of those two.
I would say it's a personnel problem because you can't expect a team with 4 starters out to compete at that same level, especially when the head of the snake, the quarterback, is gone. And I don't know how Haynes would have done against Arkansas, but he was clearly the starter, and clearly Calzada is a second slow with his thinking.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's a personnel issue as well right now, and I don't think the scheme is archaic, as a lot of people are talking about on message boards.
Yep.
I don't think it's as outdated. I think it's extremely difficult to get a grasp of for young players. And Kellen had a real grasp of the system. And I'll give Jameis credit, whatever you think of Jameis, he's a really smart football player, and he grasped it very early at FSU. And he's got to have a guy go do that. How much – you don't see him go – you don't see the quarterback get up to the line and then the entire offense look over at coach who calls a play, check with me.
Right.
Jimbo's going to coach his QB to have a grasp of the system and see what he needs to see to then check into runs, which Zach clearly doesn't seem like he's doing well, and then kind of understand the picture. And he expects his quarterback to go out there and do that. And so if I'm critical of Jimbo right now, it's that he probably had a good idea of what we didn't know yet, was that, damn, Zach's in his 3rd year, he still doesn't have a grasp of this thing.
Yeah.
Damn, if I lose Haynes King, I'm in a world of hurt. Damn. Eli Stowers isn't ready. I got to move him to tight end.
What are you doing? Why are you researching? What are you researching? What are you looking up? This is part of the video. I just like catching people.
Oh, we're
off
at
guard.
the end.
Yeah, we're at the end.
My bad.
No, what are you researching? I want to know.
The next thing.
The next thing.
I'm already working on 2 weeks from now is 4 downs.
Of course you are. So, what are we supposed to do, Gabe, after the video?
Man, you got to like it. Smash the like button, hit it,
Smash it like
tap it.
Yep.
If you sort of like it, like do you get bonus points if you smash it versus if you just tap it?
No, just have your friends smash it for you.
Tell your friends.
Yes.
That's big. Share's big.
Like, comment, and also become a TexAgs premium subscriber
Got to do that
right now.
And that's the best $12 you're gonna spend. It's the price of a hamburger.
Tell the guys bye.